Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, everyone. I kind of spend a lot of time on the good morning, I feel like, even if it's a couple seconds. So a lot of people might be seeing this in the morning. Whichever day that you guys see this is when it's most meant for you to hear. So thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Francine, and this is my channel, The Hermetic Herald. Let me get my gum out of my mouth because I feel like cinnamon has been the thing for me. I've been like chewing cinnamon gum. I feel like cinnamon is a great way when you're using it for rituals, for like ancestral work or work with the angels. So cinnamon, someone here might find that cinnamon is very helpful in your rituals. So I'm here today because I had a lovely viewer by the name of Quantum Storm. Of course, that's not the whole name, but I just wanted to kind of shout her out because she had really great questions to impart to this channel. Wow. I dissect everything that I get when it comes to constructive criticism or feedback, and I've gotten so much feedback and so much love, and also just a lot of very cool topics to touch on. So this is not something I thought of myself. This is something that I was even, kind of like impressed by and inspired by when I got questions from Quantum Storm about AI and the impact it has on artists. So if you do see me ever, I know you guys can't see my face right now. Sometimes I do videos with my face on it, depending on my mood, but I want to focus in on some questions, and I may be looking at my source, which is my notes tab where I have all the questions from Quantum Storm. And I just wanted to do that quick shout out because I really respect and really admire the information and the insights that I've gotten from this person, and I feel like we really resonate with each other. So I feel like there's a lot to learn and unpack with these questions that we've gotten, and it's going to be touching on a number of things. We're going to be touching base on the music industry, right? We're going to be touching base on what is going on in the music industry at this current moment and what can we expect, including what has occurred in the past. We're going to look through the whole past, present, future. We're going to go pretty deep in this reading. I'm not sure how long it's going to take. I'm going to focus in on the information rather than on the time, because I know that sometimes we think like a minute is going on forever, or like an hour is really quick. So I don't want to focus too much on the time frame. So we're going to ask the questions. Okay, what was the music industry intentionally meant for? Okay, like what was the music industry's real aim, apart from trying to impress upon or to provide music, to provide poetic words, something that we can resonate with on a very deep level? How was it in the past, right, as opposed to now with regards to the music industry? How did it change or evolve, or rather devolve? Where is it at this current moment in time, and what is needed for it to shift, along with many other questions. Okay, so let's get into it. I just wanted to say hello to everyone. So I hope I did that earlier, and if you guys are new, thank you guys so much for trying me out, for being interested in the topic at hand. I hope that you enjoy this video. And also, for the people that are returning, thank you guys immensely for the love and support. It means the world to me, and I'm really excited to see what comes through. Interesting. So I heard bottom of the deck, nice, is the Ace of Swords. We have, the first thing that came to my mind was Chariot, Sagittarius. So I don't know if there's a Sagittarius listening to this reading, or if Sagittarius energy is very significant. This could be a time, and when we look at, the cycles with regards to planets, and when we think about Sagittarius energy in general, if we take away everything else and just think about Sagittarius and what we attribute to it, I would attribute Sagittarius energy as something fun, something that's very fiery too, fire sign, right? And I feel like there's something about the Sagittarius energy that exists in the collective with regards to music. Think about the Sagittariuses in music, and if you guys know any, please list them down in the comments below. I feel like there's something about Sagittarius energy that is needed for us to address. Let's look at the card that came through. Eight of Swords. Okay. And then I'm hearing mental space. So the mental space of a number of people in the industry. People go through interesting how the bottom of the deck, I was so happy to see that was the Ace of Swords, which is clarity, mental acuity, and we have the Eight of Swords coming through the opposite. Feeling left, feeling stuck, feeling conflicted, feeling confused. These dynamics are coming through in this reading already with regards to AI, with regards to the industry and how it's implementing it. It feels as though a number of people are kind of stuck in some, and I'm hearing mental time warp, where they don't know how to see a way through. They kind of are stuck because there's something before their eyes that is preventing them from seeing beyond. And seeing the truth of a situation. The truth and clarity in general seems to be something that is the overall energy. What's coming out though is a lot of cloudiness, confusion. So you're going to be, if you're not noticing that already in the music industry, there's a lot of cloudiness. This is what everyone wants to get to and says they want to get to, right? But then there's this essence of it being secured for people that are dominating the industry in some way. When I see the Hierophant, I almost said the 5, I think of higher level learning. I think of also someone on a hierarchy, someone up above the others. So there's a hierarchy with regards to the music industry. There is a hierarchy with regards to truth and information and insight. Most people in the industry are at the Eight of Swords is what I'm getting. The Eight of Swords is quite the common place to be in mentally. Okay, bottom of the deck, Ace of Swords, Hierophant, and the Knight of Swords. I'm hearing the higher-ups communicate and calm you down is what I'm hearing as I'm just tapping into the energies. The higher-ups will tell the people below them what the information is, but it's producing this energy regardless of whether it's AI. So they're giving me an overall energy of just the industry in general and how people at the bottom, people at the bottom, we may not realize how far down certain artists are at the bottom when you think about the grand scale of things. All right, so let's keep going. What was the music industry intentionally? What was the music industry intentionally meant for? Spirit team, spirit guides, please assist me in understanding this information succinctly for the collective so that I can speak the truth and only the truth. What was the music industry intentionally meant for? This is a big one, okay? What was the music industry meant for? This one wants to come through. Wow. So the first card that came through was the Two of Swords in reverse. It was meant to show you two realities or two sides to everything. When you think about the Two of Swords upright, it's typically indecisiveness. It's feeling stuck. It's feeling like you have, well, maybe not stuck, but thinking. What should I choose? Which one? Which one's going to work for me? However, when the Two of Swords is in reverse, that's typically the energy of splitting hairs and also trying to find, it's like, I'm hearing dynamic, like finding two forces or two opposing views, having people choose between the two. It's also something, it's interesting when anything's in reverse. It could either mean that it's like an unbalanced energy with regards to indecision. So it could be like extreme indecision. Or it can mean that they're trying to create two things for you. Two lines, two parallels, or a parallel to something. So there's this energy of wanting to create something and having two things exist simultaneously. I keep looking at the swords. I can't get over that. So it feels like there's two realities, two ways of seeing a situation. This can bring a lot of indecisiveness. This can bring a lot of like doubt about what you're seeing. And it feels rocky. Second card we have is the Chariot, and that's the card that I was seeing intuitively with Sagittarius energy. Just an excitement that comes with that. The industry was intentionally meant to create this indecision within you, to create you like an openness to seeing two extremes. Okay, an openness to seeing two extremes. Moving quickly is a Chariot's energy. Typically it's moving towards that energy, because when I look at these two together, it feels like this person's rushing in. This information is going to be something. Okay. And then we also have the Knight or the Page of Pentacles, I should say. It's called the Knave of Pentacles here. Page of Pentacles energy is usually about working towards something, like honing in on some skill. It's about being a student, okay? So it's about creativity, about creating something new, always keeping it fresh, always keeping it new, always keeping it relevant. Nine of Wands is next, and that's the energy of resilience, tenacity, holding something together and keeping it together. Being very, I'm getting two things here, which is interesting that we got the first card as the Two of Swords. I'm getting the word resourcefulness, and yet I don't feel like that's what this is. This feels like I'm getting two dynamics in this reading. I'm getting resourcefulness for this Nine of Wands, but I'm also getting the energy of reusing something in a way where you are trying to prevent loss of any kind, and only focusing here and now on the success of an endeavor. So there's something about success with the Six of Wands at the bottom of the deck, and then holding on to it no matter what the cost. I feel like when I say resourcefulness, it's not the extreme opposite. You know, like how when you're in school and you think of antonyms, synonyms. I'm not saying that it's the opposite of resourcefulness. It's just a different avenue. I don't think resourcefulness quite embodies what I'm trying to say there. Bottom of the deck here was the Six of Wands, the Three of Pentacles, and the Seven of Swords. Holding people together through lies or deceit tends to be an easy way to have people, or in order to manipulate people. So I'm already getting the energy that's not really good. It's shifty when you see the Seven of Swords. Typically it's about deceit or about running away from a situation. Now when I see running away, I don't think of the Three of Pentacles. So it feels as though this information that is shared between people in friendships, partnerships, successful, what you would think or deem to be successful relationships in Hollywood, successful relationships in the music industry. I'm hearing the word plant. I didn't want to be very like, I wanted to kind of get away from buzzwords, but I'm getting the word plant here. Seven of Swords is about people being deceived or people not seeing the truth, pushing it away. So the music industry intentionally is meant to create and bolster up the success of partnerships with specific people. The number 3 is significant. It was meant to, it's like crafting. It's very crafty, this energy. It's more so about creating your own reality. Because when you see the Two of Swords for the beginning, right? Two of Swords in reverse, it's like trying to create something that is dynamic. I keep hearing dynamic is very important to note here. Something that is different, something that is very, it's like, I'm hearing so many words. Ingenuity, I feel like it's about not just making things black and white, but what it does when it's not black and white is it creates a lot of confusion, okay? So there's this energy of like, there could be confusion, but we're gonna use that in some way, creating parallel realities or parallel worlds in which two things can exist simultaneously. So it's like the energy of crafting something, of young, youthful energy, being at the seat of the industry, focusing on always creating something new. It was meant to bridge gaps, okay? If it was honest, though, I would be like, the energy would be a bit better. It feels more like crafty than anything. Like no one really is, it's not really about like integrity as much as it is about coexisting or enabling is what I'm hearing. Enabling multiple groups, people groups, and kind of having some understanding of the world that's created from the industry itself. So it's like craftiness at the end of the day. How was it in the past though? King of Swords. So it was more clear. When you see the King of Swords, it's more about communication, clarity. It was very clear. It also can indicate that there was there was like a seat, but it was one seat at the table, one major force in the midst. How far back is this? So we're getting the Three of Wands in reverse to clarify the King of Swords. Okay, so what they're saying is that in the past, there was a clear understanding of what what the industry was, between artists, between producers, with everyone involved. There was a clear-cut a line where you could say this person is at the head of that thing, and therefore there are people that need to stop, that need to address and ask and assess, is this okay for me to do X, Y, like whoever this person is. This person was the person that would talk, or that would be the one to talk to. You would talk to them with the lovers here. You would have relationships with them. You would partner with them in a deeper way. And now what's different about it now is that I feel like already it's shifted into multiple people sitting at the table rather than just the one person. So how far is this? This is probably like really far back. Interesting. There was a train that passed by. So how was it in the past as opposed to now? Eight of Cups. Eight of Cups is about moving towards something emotionally fulfilling, having like a progression. There being one way or one path into getting something that is more fulfilling emotionally. So music has shifted to where now there's so many people involved in the process and also at the seat that are very well known, influential, that actually aren't well known. I feel like there's actually the people that people aren't aware of that are at the top, at the very height, like the highest level. There's a lot of people there now. Back then it was more so one governing authority, or like there was one specific person that they're trying to mention to me here through tarot. Now we have the Page of Cups. The Page of Cups energy is a very youthful energy. It's about like the inner child, a flirtatiousness, a youthfulness about it. The energy of what I'm getting is that they were very youthful in the energy of pursuing the youth. So pursuing and feeling like the youth are the ones that are desirable. You hear how like I'm having a hard time talking? I feel like there's something about the industry in the past focusing on children, something about very actively focusing on them, and something about the youthfulness of their energy and wanting that. Because the Eight of Cups is like they're not even looking at the other 8 cups, they're looking at this one here. So that's how it was in the past. There was like a very, I'm hearing predication, very weird obsession with youth or young people. Interesting. Yeah, young single people back in the day. Not getting good energy. Let's keep going. Meaning I'm gonna look into it. What does that mean? What does the Eight of Cups and Page of Cups mean here? Courtship, bad health. Yeah, involvements with children. Wow, it was on a much grander scale in the beginning of the music industry. There was one governing body, one person in particular that was at the height of the music world, that was kind of the person you would talk to, the person that you would need to talk or pass things through. This person had a very unhealthy obsession with children. Courtship and bad health tells me they had like a interesting relationship with children. I'm getting goosebumps. Okay, occupation, expectation, sudden wealth. Being in the energy or the presence of children is very important. Something about the inner child and the children in general having some effect in music. Something about the flightiness, the fun energy about children, imprisonment. Feeling stuck though, this person specifically that I'm talking about in the industry back in the day. I really want to get cards that indicate like time frames in history so that I can actually, because I'm getting, let me just tune in 1 second. Let me get specifics here. So weird. I got the imagery of an alien, and what I also got was 5/6, 1950s, 1960s. My spirit team are trying to tell me around the 1950s and 60s in the music industry, there's something very significant about that time frame. Now, the person that was in power at that time was imprisoned by the desire, the desire for children. And this was considered a mental illness, and it should be, personally, in my opinion. And I feel like back in the day it was even noted as a illness, and that's why bad health is coming up. Courtship, bad health, and imprisonment by this. Now with regards to the bottom of the deck, we have family room, thoughts, and toilet neighbor. This person worked from home a lot. This person was a very, 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 very hard worker. So the industry was kind of at a place where there may have been more clarity. Or when I say clarity, I mean like there were people that were communicating, but there was also this governing authority that was very, it could have been a water, could have been, I don't know why I said water. So it could have been either a water or air sign that was very communicative with his people. I don't know if he even like tried to hide the interest and predicate and desire the attraction to young people. I don't even think that this person thought it was something to look down on, which is interesting to hear. Nowadays, if you try to do that, it's like everywhere. So it's just very interesting how this person was so open and yet not aware of it, of how taboo that is. So, okay, anything else, Spirit? Again, we have that Nine of Wands, or the Nine of Pentacles, I should say. That's the energy of independence. It was a very independent time frame in the 50s and 60s with regards to the music industry. There was this energy of like you for yourself. There was a focus on protecting yourself. I'm hearing self-protection, making sure that you were good as far as avenues is what I'm hearing, like how you get to the person in charge and how you communicate with them, what your relationship was like. Because we did see the Lovers. I feel like if you had a very loving relationship with this person, you had your independence, you had your own pentacles. There was a lot more money to artists at that time. There was a lot more that you could receive and that you could keep for yourself. Now interesting, I'm gonna just say it, Abdallah, Abdallah, whoever that is. I don't know why I'm getting that name. I don't know who that person is, but they're saying that to me as I'm looking at this card. And it's just independence was at the focus and at the forefront. I'm hearing streak, focusing on trying to be your own boss. Yeah, the Emperor. We also have the Two of Pentacles. So there were I'm hearing reinforcements, people that would be specifically geared towards like reinforcing or utilizing music to help in a number of ways, politically, economically, people that were out as reinforcements for this person here. They're just talking about this one person back in the day. And if you guys have an idea of who that could be, please let me know. But in the 50s and 60s specifically, this person was very big. This person had reinforcements. This person really encouraged individuality and also encouraged this energy of like independence, and really had a lot of people pleased with the fact that they could have their own abundance, their own pentacles, and provide for themselves, be their own boss. I mean, he worked really well with people. He was very good at getting people to like him. He was there for quite some time. Seven of Pentacles. They're taking me to one person. And that's why it's important to know this person in order to understand how it is now. What happens here? What happened? So this person is likely still at the seat. Interesting. How old is this guy? Alright, so the Hierophant. What happened here? We have Judgment. That person came to some end, actually. Page of Wands. I'm hearing replaced by someone kind. And then also, it could have been the person he was in love with, or the person he was very focused on. This person could have been a child when he knew them. Creepy stuff are happening in this reading. Judgment, Page of Wands, and the Lovers. So this person was exposed for what they were doing as well. Why is this relevant to the reading? Spirit team. Enamorado. Okay, so they're trying to take me to the Lovers, Gemini energy. This person could be a Gemini. We also have the Seven of Cups, illusions. So this person was filled with illusions. They are... they were indecisive, and also They were swept away by their interests, by their desires, and that affected them. There was some opposition here with the Five of Swords, the Queen of Swords, and the Four of Cups. This person that was opposing him was actually like either his wife, this man. I feel like it's a male or masculine energy, and then this woman could have been his wife that told people about his interest in either in children, which is really like gross to think about, or his interest or some scandal that erupted from his life. Now she knew about it, she said something, and he was not expecting that. They want me to tell you guys that, okay? Bottom of the deck is the Hermit. What is done in isolation? People began to... It's interesting. What's interesting that's coming through is that what people began, or what people saw in this era, was emulated, because they admired this guy so much despite everything and anything that was done or said that he did, you know, in the background, in secret. It's coming through again. So it's like people started to emulate this guy and manifest it again. So the industry is the industry is pretty gross. Okay, already. So they want you guys to know about it. It was like this, and as opposed to now, there was one specific person that catered to this, and from then on, people began to emulate him. Why? Okay, so that's how it was in the past, and that's how I feel concerned. Concern, mature woman, courtship. People watched as things were done like that, and as opposed to now, it seems as though it's more so just hidden a lot more. It was more in your face back then. How did it change or evolve? How did the industry itself evolve? From its governing authority here, we have the Page of Wands. So it's about creativity, innovation, going after something like full force, and like being inspired, creative about your work. So there was the energy of young or younger people taking the forefront, or being the pieces. And I'm hearing eyepieces. Isn't that weird? So it's like people were like using and utilizing younger people in film, in movies, in music, in order to inspire people, but also to help them dream and to see like an ideal of what they wanted, especially in music, because that's what we're talking about right now. We got that card coming through, as well as the Tower at the bottom, that being like, and I'm hearing trailblazer, being a trailblazer for the community, for the age. Okay, and I don't think this is present as much as it is like how they've grown since then, you know, back in the day. And it seems as though my spirit team is taking me back to the 50s, 60s, and into present day. So there's this energy of the trailblazer, the person that is going to really light people up and light them on fire in some way. We also have the Knight of Cups, which is like a very sweet energy. It's like a very romantic, very alluring energy, flirtatious. And this is why you see those things being utilized in the music industry, to convey something to you, or to have you hooked into someone based on attractiveness, based on their... and this is like prior to this time frame too. This was something around the 50s, 60s, but it kind of transitioned. So this feels like 70s, 80s, more so of like heartthrobs, but also like utilizing chivalry in some way back then. 10 of Pentacles. This is also about like keeping it within the family, so feeling like family ties are a big part of the music industry if you think about it. And I feel like 70s, 80s, this was primarily something that was going on, utilizing close ties with family, and also with this archetype of the young person. Queen of Wands is at the bottom of the deck, a more feminine energy, even in, no matter whether you're a man or a woman, masculine, feminine, it's like that was coming through a lot. Okay. But I'm hearing that it denatured, which is denaturing is usually like when things go downhill because you lose all sense of control. I feel like once they began to give control to younger people, they began to lose it, and they were trying to come from a place of, I am the authority. These older executives, people in the music industry that were above them, not the person at the top, but the people that were like in the middle, and being intuitive about it. And having just a feeling, a gut feeling, you know, about an artist, a gut feeling about a situation, a time frame in history, and how to utilize music or how to express it to people in a way that embodies these things that we talked about. So people are becoming more intuitive instead of asking and reflecting or trying to ask someone else for assistance. Yeah, the Hierophant. So becoming their own like authority in some way. Learning the trips I'm hearing trips. So taking trips, but also the tips and tricks of a situation, like knowing like how to recognize a star when a star is there. And I'm hearing a star is born. I also got the energy of Madonna. So she embodies this. So something about the 70s and 80s with Madonna, she's like interesting. She's an interesting energy. Something about her like embodying like the interest of younger people, almost like an obsession with younger people, and I wonder how weird that can get. 9 of Cups is coming through. We have the 5 of Pentacles, 7 of Swords, oh crap, Justice, 8 of Wands. Trying to repair, which is something that every generation tries to do, is repair some issue from the past. And the people that were in this time frame, the 70s, 80s, focusing on trying to keep, protect the youth, because these people were coming out about things that were going on behind closed doors, trying to protect them, trying not to let them be or make them feel isolated in some way, they being executives and such, trying to also kind of like hold back and prevent justice, or I'm hearing prison reform, or like working on trying to prevent people from getting in jail that were doing things that were very, very sickening to the public. So there's something about that coming through, justice coming anyway though. And then the 8 of Wands, quickly moving towards a death and transformation. Something about Pluto and Scorpio energy being very significant. Now, this is around the 90s. The energy is shifting into abundance, right? Finding out an abundance of information, because Scorpio energy will not let you live in some reality that's not helpful or beneficial or true. I mean, this is something that seemed to have happened pretty rapidly, and that's why they're taking me through that time frame. So we're still going. Let's keep going. What about now? From then on, we have the King of Pentacles. Okay, so money, the value of money is affected here, impacted. Wow. So we have the Hermit, the Queen of Swords. Yeah, holding back on telling people about your wealth. So wealth began to be something of a secret. Back then, people were very proud of it. I feel like this is where we are now, where people that are at the very top, you don't even know about. 7 of Wands, protecting that, defending their honor, defending their abundance. We have the Devil energy coming through, Capricorn energy as well, the 7 of Pentacles, holding it and keeping it within their line, within their generation. 7 of Pentacles is usually the energy of longevity as well, looking at your longevity. It could also indicate that you've been doing this quite some time. We also have the Queen of Cups, 8 of Swords, Knight of Swords, and this one was turned over the world, transitioning, and also expanding elsewhere globally. Something about global, going global. Not trusting other people in your circle. Hello everyone. So this is going to be a continuation of what we were touching base with. Today is January 13th of 2024, so it is 3 days later than the beginning of the reading. I feel like timing is important. For some reason, 3 days had to pass before I could continue this reading. And I feel like the energy is coming back to my recollection. I listened to it to get some information to see where I left off at. And I left off at death, the Empress, and the world here. So transitioning now into more of the present moment. It seems as though because of the dense energies, my camera was not liking that. I was actually having to re-record a couple times more than I usually do. Usually 30 minutes. If I'm 30 minutes in, that's when my camera will start to overheat. It happened 15 minutes in and again. So there's a lot going on here. I feel like the transition, now that we're going into the transition of the current time from like the 90s onward, abundance. And I feel like death keeps falling down. What is it with Plutonian energy? Transitioning out of a lot of secrets, or at least revealing a lot of secrets and insight. People having a lot of insight and also seeking out their abundance. I feel like people in the music industry now, executives and people higher up, are now recognizing that people are seeing the abundance within themselves and the abundance within their situation, that they can make this and make their life more than what they thought they could do, and how they could control or utilize a person. So people that were being played, people that were being utilized in society, in the music industry towards the 90s upwards, were very, very eye-grabbing, and also they were very intelligent. So when I think of the 90s, I immediately think of Tupac. I immediately think of a number of artists that started, I'm hearing Reprise, who came out of nowhere, it felt like, and just started shaking things up in the industry. Those people, I feel like, are the ones that are the abundant ones, the ones with the information, the wealth, the knowledge, the wisdom to provide to the collective, to provide to the generation, Pluto and Scorpio generation. Transitioning, because I feel like there's a lot of negative energy in this time frame. In the 90s up, my sage, I lit that about like a couple minutes ago and it's still going. Usually when sage keeps lighting, or like is still lighting for quite some time, that means there's some dense and there's some negative energies that persisted in this time frame, and it's still needing to help me out here. So if you guys see the smoke, it's still trying to clear out the energy here. Interesting. Okay, let's keep going. I'm gonna try to pick up the death card once again. And what was interesting is my baby actually found the death card and crumpled it. Look at that, guys. If you think I really need decks, yeah, like I need to make sure I don't have them nearby, because this death card went through it. I had to press it down. So something about death being stomped on, transformed, something about death needing to happen, and it crumbling some things. Okay. All right, we have main female. So we're talking about a main female in the 90s in the music industry. Something about this person's, I'm hearing reflections. Oh, interesting. Are we talking about hearing reflections? Who sang reflections in the 90s? If it's not the 90s, it was the early 2000s. Message in reverse. So this person had to hold back their voice because it was upsetting certain people, the powers that be, with adjudication in reverse as well. This person was a destabilized male. There was some executive, okay. Specifically, I think Christina Aguilera was the person that was singing this. Something about Christina is coming through, and key women, specific women in the industry that had to deal with going to either the court system or needing protection, because there were some people that were very destabilized. Why is that coming through, Spirit? What else do you have to say about these people? Okay, we had this in reverse. People coming out of really destitute situations are feeling like they were left out, feeling like they were in a very difficult situation financially. Poverty in reverse, courtship, having to get into relationships in order to sustain themselves. And these relationships bringing about huge transformation or change. So who were they dating? Something about the people that people dated at that time, and like executives or people that were very big, that helping them through a very difficult situation. The music industry was wrought with arranged marriages or arranged relationships for the sake of money, but also for the sake of controlling artists. Okay, so I want you guys to look at relationships back in the 90s. If you guys are interested in that, see how they're connected. in the music industry. It's almost that energy of like of the royal family, like keeping it in the family. Something about keeping it within, trying to contain or trying to control a person, or keeping the power within a line, something like that coming through. I heard this phrase when I was tapping in again, and it was humiliate me. Why would that come through? It felt as though people were working so hard. Artists at that time were working incredibly hard, toil and labor in reverse, and I feel like they almost felt humiliated by the situation at hand. I feel like I need to shift into another deck. Let's keep going. So with regards to the music industry, there was just a lot of things that were being revealed, lies being told, but also people revealing those lies and communicating them. Page of Swords is typically speaking it out, but not saying too much. Saying a little bit and you're not expecting it. So in music, even in the 90s going into 2020, the 2020s as well, continually there seems to be this energy of people trying to tell you things in music and trying to convey lies or secrets within the music, and many people not seeing it or not expecting it. And I'm hearing independence had a part to play in it, trying to find some way of being independent even when they were feeling constrained or feeling forced by other people and other forces. Queen of Cups energy, wanting to hold on to the feminine energy. Something about masculine energy, wanting to hold on to the feminine and control them in some way. And feminine, masculine energies can be in males or females. It doesn't really have to be one or the other. So it feels like even men that were maybe more feminine were being controlled in some way. Page of Wands. And this Page of Wands energy feels like a deal, like when someone tries to give you a really good deal, satisfactory deal, that is hard to pass up. Something about artists at that time feeling like those deals were like something that would bring them into a whole new realm, a whole new place in the industry, and feeling like they wanted to embark on some new path. The excitement that comes with that. Using the younger energies, getting them young, and then also getting them into a group of people, because the Hermit energy is typically like a secret society or group. It's usually about a group of people that work really hard and are integrating lessons in the music, like teaching you something or programming you in some way. I'm getting that energy. Well, Two of Pentacles, Four of Swords. Wow. Finding ways in which to share information that's confusing to the audience. Sometimes there's a way where you can kind of muddle things when you are saying in your music, you know, I want to kill X, Y, or Z. I want to beat this person's butt. I want to abuse this person. This person is, you know, using mean rhetoric and stuff like that. A lot of the artists back then used to say certain hard things, but they weren't actually feeling that way, and that muddled a lot of people's perceptions of them. And I feel as though the executives and people above did not want people to see how great they were. They wanted to kind of go with the tide of culture and integrate like this idea, give you guys an image of who this person is when they're not that person at all. And I'm thinking of Tupac again, the idea of like trying to make you feel like you don't truly know who he is, that he's just some, and this is quote unquote like kind of like how people wanted to see him, like some gangster guy, like specifically someone who didn't have enough of a knowledge, education, but people realized quickly after talking to him in interviews that the perception and persona people tried to impress on him is not fitting him at all. I'm getting that energy, like finding like ways of confusing the hell out of people and having you think a way or a certain way about society, about color, about race, religion. There was this way of impressing upon people some sense that helped balance people out economically and politically. So there's a very close tie, as I feel a lot of you guys will know, a close tie with music and with economic stability in the United States and in other countries, specifically in the US, and like how the influence by putting certain artists in certain causes helped you respond a certain way. Just finding balance. They use that and utilize the music industry for those reasons. To what end though? Why is the worry here, Spirit? Why is the worry here? I'm trying to control people. It's getting increasingly difficult, and it's increasingly difficult right now to control artists. Name an artist that you feel has been kind of off, or kind of like, not off, but kind of has said things, risky things, and doesn't care what people think. What's the first person that comes to mind? Please comment below, because I feel like those artists are the ones that they look out for and they're very scared of. All right. What else? Yeah, look at that. The tower. It's like, oh my God, constant tower. Constant tower with this person. Constantly wondering, like, what are they going to say? Oh shit, we have to control that person. We have to like prevent them from having the money, the stability, like certain things, so that they feel like they have no choice but to respond or recant. Or there's this energy here that's going into now the 2000s. 2006 specifically. So there's something specific, and I'm hearing Kanye. I'm not gonna lie with you guys. I feel like that energy is coming through. Him being a very pivotal person in the industry. Now we have the Knight of Swords, the Four of Wands, and the Seven of Pentacles. They found like a lot of peace celebration with him. Initially, interestingly enough, they found him to be comedic. They felt like they had some kind of understanding with him, specifically Kanye, and knew that he spoke outlandish things. They waited. They were patient with him for quite some time, but the energy of it dwindling happened, and they were like, oh shit, like, look at all this stuff that he said. What do we do with that? Not knowing how to control that. There's something karmic about certain artists that come out like that and speak out. Something about them speaking their piece and seeking out their own happiness, going against the tides of what producers, what executives have been trying to do for quite some time, since the 90s on, specifically with the age of information, growing into that. I just have like interesting energy coming through. How is it now, Spirit, with the Monology deck? Okay, work through, oh my gosh, Scorpio energy again, guys. Work through your fears. New moon in Scorpio. That is where we are currently at, the age of information. It says be bold and make the first move. People are being bold in the music industry and making the first move. They're saying fuck it, and they're just doing what they feel in their heart and feeling what they want to do and speaking out about things. And I don't know how they can control that. And I think the only way you can control people that are speaking out is to muddle information so they don't know what to speak about anymore, because they don't know the information that is necessary. Expect powerful change though. So we can expect a lot of work, hard work on the artists' end, specifically those that are at the bottom, the very bottom. Their hard work paying off in some way. Capricorn energy, and expecting powerful transformation within. Okay, so how did it change or evolve or devolve? Let's look into that. Whoa, okay, grounding. Grounding. Typically grounding, and bottom of the deck is burden. This is a really heavy card, because I think everyone in society needs to focus in on their grounding techniques and on their methods of grounding. Grounding with not just substances and in an unbalanced or not balanced way, a very unstable way of knowing how to ground without overindulging, overeating, over drinking, over smoking, over imbibing on prescription medication. This is something that is coming through for the collective, specifically in the industry. Grounding. How did it change? People are becoming more grounded. Okay, something happened with my computer as I said that. Okay, but feeling like, wow, wow, we need it actually more now than ever. I would say, instead of it being something that we see now, I feel like the movement towards grounding is necessary. There's no other way. I feel like grounding is necessary because we're so busy all the time. We have burden, self-love, and perception. How we feel about ourselves. If they can control how you feel about yourself, or they can it's like impress upon you a way of seeing yourself and seeing love and seeing one another. That's like the hardest thing. That's like the best way to control a person. We need to ground with the earth. And also with each other, ancient wisdom. So there's some ancient wisdom that's coming out in this generation here. All right. in the music industry. So it is evolving. It is evolving. Perception is transitioning. Perception is transitioning. I don't even know what that means. What does that mean, Spirit? Because I feel like I have to go back and ask that question. What do you mean by ancient wisdom here? Why am I hearing make America great again? I'm hearing MAGA. Why am I hearing that? Intimidation. What is it, Spirit? We have the Page of Cups, 5 of Cups. Wow. The energy is kind of shifting. King of Cups, the Moon, the Lovers, the 6 of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, the Hanged Man. Okay. Page of Cups is typically the inner child. It's purity. There's a lot of sorrow in the collective with regards to our purity, mentally, physically, emotionally, sexually, everything. There's something about there being a collective sadness involving that, and truly finding the King of Cups. It feels as though we've lost so much that we're having to downsize. I'm hearing downsize coming through, which is interesting. When you think of the King, it's the end of the road. It's the last of the cups. I feel as though Spirit's trying to say that we're dropping or leaving some sadness, some feelings of like insignificance or lack in our lives. And we're looking for this King of Cups. We're looking for what really makes us light up. What's at the source of our happiness? What makes you truly happy in the industry? Something about there just being a lot of loss for the people, the youth of today in the music industry, the people that are coming into this. There's so much more. Hold on one sec. I keep hearing intimidation. I keep looking into this page's eyes for some reason. Looking into the eyes, the window. I feel like there's something about eyes coming through. How do people's eyes look to you nowadays? Because it feels as though in the industry, there are a lot of people in the industry that eyes look dead. And I'm getting that energy. They're trying to talk to me about the loss of self, because we had self-love come through as one of the healing messages. This generation focusing on self-love in the music industry, conveying love to others because they can't hide the truth anymore. There's something about finding that what's chief in your happiness, what doesn't compare to anything else. And I'm hearing nothing compares to you. So Sinead O'Connor being significant. She was really prevalent in the 90s. So it's something about like the activist type energy coming through of like finding what was lost in the collective, of retrieving what was lost. And I'm seeing the Moon and the Lovers, love, the shadowy energy of love, the secret of love, and finding balance. Because here's the thing, there's some kind of divide here. And this is reminding me of my love on a collective level, and I need to finish that because I feel like this is about that. It's affecting your music, right? Because when you guys look at the quality of your music, how do you feel about it right now? Because I feel as though there's this energy of like there being so many secrets to love that people are not really in listening to. I feel like we're getting really stagnant and really like shallow music lately, personally. And I'm feeling like that's coming through again, this need for balance, this need for restoration, and this need for healing, self-love, because that's what's really lost. And I feel like that's not what's coming through, is that's what's necessary. Because I'm feeling as though it's just like production is what matters the most to a lot of people, and now people are holding back and saying, wait a minute, I need to recalibrate, I need to get out of hangman position, or like I need to stay in hangman position to understand, like, what am I really doing here? What is really love? What is it like? I've had so much loss. How have I even considered the loss so far? Like, I feel like people are considering what they've lost. Love lost. We're getting into more of like love in music. So it feels as though it's changed and shifted into truth, but it's like in sacrificing love in some way, because I feel as though love has been lost, but then information has been gained. Loss, There's this realistic way that people act nowadays. Like they act like it's a fairy tale to be in love, and the music is kind of shifting as well. Something about the music shifting because of the hearts of young people shifting, the purity there, the love there that was there in other generations prior. Where is it? It's becoming a little bit more harsh of a truth to them. Interesting energy. It's really tough. It's just tough love. Interesting. Four of Cups, not caring. The Four of Cups also is a dejected energy. It's more like, I don't care. This uncaring energy is coming through this entire reading, and I don't like it. It feels like, oh, I'm strong. I'm good without that, and yet you're Two of Swords. You're indecisive about your love life. So you kind of project that you don't care, and then you really care. But here's the thing: with all the information comes more options, and I feel like people are becoming so like overwhelmed and anxious about love. Love is bleeding into this because that is what comes into reading, comes into songs, music. Interesting. Let's keep going. So it's devolved with regards to love, and they're trying to make that known to you guys. And I'm hearing shift. It's shifting. It's shifted out of love. Let's keep going. So we have, where is it right now? Let's just look at current energy as of today, January 13th, 2024. Where are we at? Where is the music industry at right now? I'm hearing big. Big names, big numbers is what I'm hearing. Big names, big numbers. That's all that matters. Is that what's happening here in the society? Is like music is just becoming about the big name and the big numbers, but not about the love in the projects, the love in the music. Something like that is coming through. People are looking at mainstream, I think, way more. And I feel interesting. I'm getting this energy of like shallow energy coming through this reading now. Let's keep going. If you guys are liking this video so far, please like, share, and subscribe, okay? These are deeper topics, not something you can just rush through. So if you like longer readings, please join my membership as well. I'm going to be doing deeper topics on there. High Priestess is coming through. Damn. Something about intuitive nudgings, like your intuition. I'm hearing debased. Like the intuition is debased now. My guides are speaking a certain way. The information is debased. It's funny because they're giving me the term like based. Like what does based mean? Because I never used it. I used to hear it back in the day in high school, and I was like, I don't know what the hell you're saying to me. But not to judge anyone, but I just didn't know what that meant. And I'm hearing it's debased. So they're trying to like spin on the words here. Okay. All right, let's keep going. I'm hearing sirens. Damn, number 1 and the number 3 are significant, as well as the number 6. 1, 3, and 6. Number 6 has been relevant for Drake and other artists. Something about the number 6, that's karma. There's karma associated with this reading. Music is karmic. There's some karmic energies coming through in this reading. I'm also hearing entourage. There's like an entourage of people in the industry that they're trying to talk to me about. All right, where is it right now, Spirit? Where is the music industry? Secretive. 4 of Pentacles is coming through. Secretive. 10 of Swords, which is overwhelming energy. It's like when you're feeling backstabbed or you're feeling oppressed. And the 2 of Wands. They're giving me the imagery of a gate. There is extreme gatekeeping at this current moment in time in the music industry. It's unreal. I'm getting pissed just in the energy of this. So there's gatekeeping with regards to the secrets, and I don't know why. It's like 4 specific people or 4 specific powers or something about 4 is coming through. Okay. What is the industry like right now, Spirit? What is the industry like? This is a constant because it's sideways. Money. King of Pentacles. It's all about the finances. And like I said earlier, there's something about trying to be like focus on entrepreneurial energy, but then the magic of the situation with the Magician is lost in translation. There's like anxiety because there's something distinct about the magic that's not being spoken or stated or in music anymore as much as it could be. Why am I hearing Rod Wave? Interesting. I saw Rod Wave as I saw the King of Pentacles horizontally. Wow, I just keep hearing the same words. I don't know why my spirit team is saying intimidate, intimidate. People are intimidated by some power, and it's like coming through as some executive or someone. This is some like energy of someone who's all about the money, and look at that, the devil energy, the Ace of Cups, the Knight of Pentacles. For some reason hearing the proof is in the pudding. If you eat it. Weird. This person is English because I keep hearing black pudding. What's interesting about that is I think I've only heard that in culturally with the UK or with England. I can't remember. Black pudding. Something about English, some affairs relating to England, and that being somehow like that person being a benefactor of the industry. This devil energy though, it's telling me they look for stuff that are excitable. They're looking for things that are interesting. And I'm hearing profusely use and operate with the feminine energy. They use the feminine energy quite a lot. This person could be a feminine energy as well. It's like a man with a feminine, more so operating in their feminine energy more than anything. Bottom of the deck is the Hierophant, the Knight of Swords, and the Judgment. And I'm getting a headache. I'm just getting into this person's energy. The right side of my head for some reason. And I feel like this person condemns certain things. Like they will not let you get your music across because of a certain reason. Like it's like you're not one of the four. And I'm hearing this person schizophrenic. Schizo. Who is this? This person is mentally, they're mentally off, and it feels as though they say things and they say it and they will say like, that's it, with a finality. Like if they like something, they'll put it out. If they don't like something, they stop you right where you are. And that's it. Judgment. The Empress is the energy, like hustler energy. Do you guys know the movie Hustlers or something like that? Something about the word hustlers. Was that a magazine or something? I'm getting the energy of like a woman without like clothing or like... So something about using the feminine body, feminine like attractiveness and stuff like that to sell things, and that being the devil energy, and that they're trying to debase something that's really profound and trying to use it to get people to look at something or to take in the music. It's really debasing. It's not, they don't respect the feminine. I'm getting more names. So I'm getting Eminem. I know Eminem. I'm getting Eminem. What does Eminem have to do with this? Ace of Swords. They're just telling me Ace of Swords. What else would you like to say? Seven of Swords and Justice. There's some lie about Eminem that might come through, specifically in the industry. So we have the Two of Pentacles, the Seven of Wands, the Five of Pentacles, and the King of Wands. I'm hearing Eminem hasn't told the story. There's something he has to say or something he should say. He's holding back on saying something, running away from telling us something that he knows with regards to the industry. So this feels like early 2000s, knowing something. Two of Pentacles, finding balance. So even though this is current energy, they're talking about something in the past that's going to come to fruition or something that's going to be said. All right, so expect that. Something about Eminem. He hasn't told us the truth yet on something. So Seven of Wands is defensive energy, trying to find balance, trying to focus on yourself, focus on your pentacles, and focusing on your craft and not having the time to think about what happened. Something happened to him. And I feel like it has something to do with this person. Who is this person? Anything else you can tell me? The Emperor at the bottom. Who is this person? I don't even know where to begin. Who is this person? Great fortune. We know that he's very fortunate. Has a lot of money. But look at this, guys. I feel like this should be coming out. But there's something that flips. False person. So this person's very, very crafty. They're not real. And mature man. Yeah, we're talking about the guy. So it's some older man. I'm hearing boss man. Do you guys know someone named boss man? But it could just be like the person's just a boss, and that's why it's coming through that way. Courthouse. Interesting. Courthouse. Dealings with the court system. This has come through for Drake. So something's linking this together. This person is very well, I'm hearing well endowed with like certain people in the justice system. Like they know a number of people. So the music industry is really like shifting. It's more so focused on catering to the prostitution in some way of the feminine, and it's coming through that way in this whole reading. This person's controlling of the feminine, not respectful of it, and is utilizing it. They're not utilizing the feminine energy, they're utilizing the form, and it's becoming very shallow. It's very shallow energy. Community is at the bottom of the deck. This person's very well integrated in society, in the community. What would you like to tell me about this person? This wanted to come out and it just stayed right there. All right. Okay. All right. So we have here unfinished symphony. They have a lot of things they want to do or perfect. Gemini energy is coming through. Like Gemini, Virgo. Very interesting. This person could have a Mercury in Virgo, Mercury in Gemini. Very communicative, or has a lot of thought processes, things that are going on that they want to deal with or do before anything happens, before they retire is what I'm hearing. We have peace and between worlds. Between worlds. This is getting weirder. All right, all that glitters. 16 is a Tower card. This person's in between classes. Interesting. You know Bella Porch? I don't know why I'm getting her name. How did she rise to success? Do you guys think it was purely on her talent and purely on her videos, or do you think there was some other, like, I'm hearing so many things. Okay, Spirit Team, 1 second. Do you think that she got to where she was just because of her abilities, or do you think that someone kind of introduced her to everyone because of some way in which they felt gratitude towards her or felt like she could do something for them? And then I'm hearing Tel Aviv, which is Israel, so Jewish. That energy is coming through in this reading. Jewish, like, ancestry, and something about that person having that ancestry, all that glitters. Wow, this goes a lot deeper. It's more so like it's getting into the realm of not just music, but TikTok, like other social media outlets or like social media apps. I'm just getting energies like it's like a tree, like this tree here, and the root going way deeper than just music. So I'm getting more information elsewhere. Jaws. Why am I getting Jaws? Movies? Geez, this guy's involved with movies. Interesting. And funnily enough, my camera is giving me the overheating signal as I'm talking about something like that. Okay, let's just keep going. Blessed. Very blessed person. Has a lot of people in their corner. Building blocks as well. They worked from the ground up. This person worked from the ground up, and that's why they're in between worlds. They've been in like higher up. They know people higher up very well, and they moved up quite well. I'm getting like the name like Stein. And for some reason they're giving me like Einstein type, like the way it's written. Something about Steen, S-T-E-I-N. And I don't know anyone by that name, so I'm trying to figure it out here. To be fair, and a leg up. Yeah, these people, he knows someone that's very strongly involved with the music industry higher up. So this isn't the top. This is just like someone who's very good at moving between worlds here. They might act like they're not very rich or have a lot of money, but they do. Or they just have a lot of connections, and they kind of act like they don't have much. They could have a normal car instead of a brand name car, or like a really big luxury car. They have like something normal because they kind of hide in the midst. They don't have to project some sense of like of money, of having like royalties or having a lot of money. I'm hearing royalty. So they just feel like interesting. They feel like they kind of go shifting in between different economic different economic levels. They're very good at integrating. Okay, Treasure Island. message in a bottle and clean it up. They're good at cleaning up situations as well for people so that you don't remember it. Okay. They're coming through strongly. So right now it's about this person, this King of Pentacles. That's what matters most in this reading. They want you to know this mature man. They want you to be aware of this man. Interesting. This person's been vilified as well, is what they're saying. But they're blessed. They always get out of situations like that before someone can really ruin them. Or I'm hearing degrade them. They usually get out of situations like that pretty quickly. So right now, I want to get more information on that. The state of it is really intertwined with this person. Just want to let you guys know. Justice system. Something about them coming out and then going to court could happen soon. That card wanted to come through. Hanged Man. They're going to keep this in deliberation for quite some time, actually. They may hold on to putting this person out or talking about this person. Like, for instance, when I told you about Eminem, I feel like this person has had dealings with a number of people and they could have said something, they didn't. Because they juggled, like, the thought of doing something about it. And that's coming through. So expect something to come out about this person. We'll see what else comes through. People have a lot of love and respect for him, though. So I don't know if people are going to, like, crucify him, and so to speak, like, socially. I don't think. Because they can't believe that he's that person. He was a gift to them. So I'm going to pause here and let my camera get back to itself, to its right state, and I'll be right back. Hey everyone, so let's continue. It seems like my camera is letting me continue, so let's keep going. Let's look into more information from the tea leaves here, fortune tea leaves. Let's just see if we can, I'm hearing scan. Scan through all of these, see what comes through. Okay, for this person, this executive, we have money or property through an inheritance, winning or windfall. This person gaining their money through windfall, through just a really great opportunity coming across their path. And I'm getting like the energy of Apple, like that type of thing, like rising to fame, compliments from an admirer, this happening. It's a gift. This person received a gift. That's how they got what they needed, and that's through sexual matters. So this person, they had an affair with the person that helped them physically or helped them monetarily. An arrogant, boastful person you should not cross. And I got shivers, and I'm hearing sirens. So this person, they were quite interested in getting into the business. I'm hearing Esther, interesting, which reminds me of the Bible. So I don't know if this person had a religious background at one point, and they kind of utilized the story of Esther in some way. I believe Esther left to a new land and met Boaz. And something about like meeting someone in a new land, helping and bolstering her. Something like that coming through. We also have you'll be playing a different role. This person initially didn't know that they would be getting into this industry right away, but because of their relationship with this person, whoever it was that they were with that asked for sexual favors is coming through. They were able to supersede the person. You were on the road to success here. They were on the road to success, but karma, you will reap what you have sown is here. They were very shrewd with their finances. They were very aware and calculated with this person as a fox. They were very business oriented. This person has specific Capricorn placements coming through with the devil energy that came through earlier, and then great passion for what they did. So this person was very passionate. I don't know, I'm getting Julia Fox with this one. For some reason, they may know that person quite well. Might have helped her in her career. We have needle and thread. We have a sincere wish will be granted. So they became the beneficiary for a number of people after starting out and having their inheritance come from a place of being with this person in a sexual manner, like offers, sexual like advances, like using their sexuality to get them through. We have money will be coming to you with this person, very rich now. They have a lot of money coming to them. These two cards came through. Look at that, marriage and romance is in the air with the rose. So they married the person. Marriage is how they got somewhere in this career path. Interesting. I keep thinking of Eminem. Very interesting. Fear, worry, intense situations do occur for them quite often now. And I'm hearing fan, so like from fans, or like specifically a fan, something about fans. A wish is granted, and danger, especially money matters. I don't know if this person did something with their fans, which is interesting to note, because if they're an exec or someone up, you know, someone that works with artists, they were once an artist themselves, is what it's feeling like. And I'm hearing the word an enigma. Interesting. We have happiness. Their happiness was paramount to them. Is there anything else you'd like to say? And then we'll shift into what's needed for this to shift with regards to the industry. And we'll look at how if it impacted it, apart from what we've already talked about. We have diamond. You'll be receiving or giving a precious gift. I heard diamond tour. Forces working against you. They're like over 50. That's what it feels like. When I think of a diamond, for some reason I think of over 50. Forces working against you. And my spirit team know that when things like that come up, and I get those words, they know my mind pretty much and how I think. Birth or conception of a child or enterprise. So this person has children. They feel like they're muddled because they want their child to succeed, you know, to do something that they do. And I feel like this child is not really interested. I'm hearing teabagging. This person's kind of like, their karma is coming through their child. Something about that. Depression, anxiety, worry that someone's against you. They might feel like their child is working against them in some ways. Okay. Liberty is what I'm hearing. I also see reconciliation. They may not be in a good place with them right now, and they're hoping for reconciliation with them. Purple star is what I'm hearing. I don't know why that's coming through. Be careful. Do not take risks. They might want to, this person might have wanted to enlist or was interested in going into the army, or something about like purple heart. I don't know why that's coming through. Maybe this person's just a really good person with the child. Be careful. Do not take risks. Wow. They have a lot of things to say with regards to this person. Guaranteed success and excitement. This person might be an Aquarius, the child, or they're an Aquarius. But they feel like they have some information and insight, and they don't like that. They might work against them. They might currently work against them right now, and they're afraid of that. But they're trying to take time away from the situation with this person. Their happiness is being affected by their child in big ways, and I feel like it's karmic in some way. All right, let's keep going. I keep getting those horns. Okay. Ooh, everything's falling. What is going on here? Everything's tip-top, and I feel like this person feels off kilter right now. They're feeling a little bit like uncomfortable with how things are going. Queen and King came out of Wands. They're a fire sign. They have some specific fire sign placements, and it's 333 on the clock.